This is Ken Pyle with VOD TV. We're at the Connections Conference here with Evan Young of TiVo. Evan, you were just on a panel about interfaces and how consumers view content. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the panel and then we'll start a conversation.
Sure, yes. Well, it was myself and a gentleman from Stars and Digital Smiths, and we were talking about connecting consumers to content. What are the ways that consumers can find content when you've got, 500 channels and all of these OTT content choices? There's a lot to get through, and what are the best ways that we can lead consumers to things that they might want to watch on their television?
And you've been doing this a long time. One of the things that struck me was I still unfortunately have the interface that's on the left-hand side of your slide you showed me. You showed the evolution of the interface of just what you have to present content to customers from 8 years ago, 10 years ago to now. Why don't you talk a little to that?
Sure. Well, a few years ago we did undertake reinventing the TiVo UI, certainly anticipating the world of all of this choice, and we made it much more visual. We present a lot of different tiles of things that you might want to watch, and we start to distinguish now because consumers have different modes of discovery. There's sometimes when you very much know, hey, I want to watch an action movie tonight, or there's sometimes when you say, I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for. I might be in the mood for something light or something more serious, or there's sometimes when you really want to find a particular thing, and that's when search is what you need to do. So we talked a little bit about the different things. Something that also came up, social. What are my friends watching, and how does that feed into all my choices? So these were among the things that we talked about. But in terms of the TiVo user interface, we are now incorporating all of these different kinds of modalities into how you can find things to watch on television.
Well, that's an interesting question. You've been, I have so much history of the way people search, and have you seen a decline or an increase in time of people actually spending time looking for stuff on your screens?
Well, I think it's different. Now, our research bears this out, that people do different things depending on if they're alone, if they're with other people, if it's a group decision, whether there's some negotiation in what you want to watch. And these days it also depends on the kinds of things that you do while you watch television. There are some people, you sit down and you watch an involved show like HBO's Game of Thrones. You're generally focused on the first screen. You watch certain other things like American Idol or X Factor. You may be engrossed also equally in your tablet or mobile device, wanting to see what people are tweeting about, or what all the community is saying. Mm-hmm. So we definitely find that people do different things, and we have to adjust the kinds of solutions we offer to what behaviors they have.
Well, and with multiple people in the household, how are you overcoming those kind of challenges of different views for different people in the household?
Well, that's very interesting. One of the ways that we are starting with that is very much, we recognize that you've got a personal device with you at all times. It's your mobile phone or it's your tablet, and very often you have that in front of your television. So this is the first and easiest way that we can present to you recommendations, because we know that that's there and that's you. With respect to the actual DVR itself, we're starting to dream up ways of thinking about how we personalize that experience for you. Historically, we've done that. You've got a TiVo in the master bedroom. That's the parents' TiVo. You've got a TiVo in the living room. That's the family TiVo. But we are starting to look at what do we do about profiles.
And back to the second screen concept, you've made some announcements with the platform lately, and you've been doing a lot of work with service providers to go beyond the DVR really and have a multi-screen strategy. Yep. Is that where things are going? Is it the interface kind of to the TV becoming secondary in some sense?
Well, we think there are interfaces on lots of different devices, and to the solutions we offer service providers, definitely service providers come to us first of all, for the DVR, but they often engage with us because we offer them solutions for mobile and tablet, and increasingly in the browser as well, for TV everywhere kinds of experiences. Because if you're a service provider, you recognize that your customer comes to you on multiple different screens. You have to have solutions for them that speak to all the ways they want to consume content on all of those screens. So at TiVo, we provide all of those.
And so in some sense, you're a big part of enabling a cloud strategy, a TV cloud strategy for these service providers.
Yes, I mean, we are not in the content business per se, but we are definitely in the interface and advanced services business, and so the service provider, yes, they have the assets in terms of all of the channels, video on demand assets, TV everywhere services, but these days, consumers want a friendly interface to those services. They want, the trust of the TiVo brand, in terms of the way we present the UI, the way we present their choices, the way we make TV fun and engaging, and that's what we are now doing on screens, not just the main TV screen, but all the screens that you can get television services on.
Well, it seems like the branding thing is multiple challenges there. The content people want their brands out. Of course, your service provider partners want their brands, but it seems like TiVo also has a very valuable brand. I'm seeing it in the advertising with your service partner providers. How do you kind of manage all those relationships?
Well, I think the thing that we're all trying to do is serve the consumer's interests, right? It's the consumer who is ultimately paying with their wallet for, both their multi-channel television services and in some cases TiVo. And so, the TiVo part of that equation is, to make TV engaging and fun, give consumers a way to sort through all the choices they get from their service provider. At the same time, the service provider needs to achieve, their certain branding around their services, and all of the channels that make up their lineup, need to achieve that too. And we think TiVo in our interface provides a very good home for all of that. We provide, promotion for things like Comcast VOD in the markets where we've integrated Comcast VOD. We provide promotion for over-the-top solutions like Netflix and Hulu, as well as all the television networks in our interface. So, we think we are a place that we provide a good home for this kind of brand promotion in a way that's consumer friendly, where the consumer can see all the choices that they have.
I guess that's the challenge, isn't it? Making it friendly, but at the same time exposing those brands, right?
It's our job, to show the consumer, all of the sources that they have, for their content, and give them the sense of the value that's coming from each of them. And we think that TiVo is a brand that can help connect all of these other brands to the consumers. That's a nice bit of value that we can provide, especially to our operator partners.
Well, I'd love to keep talking because there's lots of things about advertising and other things I think would be very fascinating, but I really appreciate your time today, and maybe we can catch up again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Evan.